What's up guys, and welcome to this tutorial in load balancing. So in this tutorial I'm going to go through how to set up a basic load balancer, and this tutorial is aimed to someone who is looking into scaling concepts and also someone who uses Linux servers in their work or in education, such as Ubuntu or any other distro. And also you should probably know some basic Unix and Linux commands like ls or cd, and also some kind of editor, text editor. I'm going to use Nano for this demonstration, and most of you will probably fit into this category right here, but also of course if you just want to tag along and watch me set up a load balancer in order to grasp the concepts. So the first thing you need to figure out is the difference between scaling out versus scaling up, and I have this link that I'll put it in the description later so you can check it out. It's I think it's kind of good for describing what scaling out and scaling up is. So scaling up is basically just giving the server more power, so like more CPU and memory and all that, versus scaling out is, in this instance, it's relating to creating more servers in the cluster in order to deal with more capacity for the whole system. So in this tutorial we're going to do scaling out. So we're going to create more instances of a server, and we also going to assume that the application that we're going to use has no state, and so there is no session handling, stuff like that, because that'll complicate stuff a little bit more. So in this tutorial we don't keep state at all. Also, we assume that the load balancer never goes down, which this will be hard for you to understand right now, but you'll understand what I mean by this later. So in this tutorial, we're going to keep the following setup. We're going to have a load balancer, and these are different physical servers. So load balancer, server 1 and server 2. So in the first one, we're going to have nginx, and we're going to do caching of the data. And on this I'm going to run a Ubuntu server, and I'm going to run the same distribution for all the servers in the demonstration, so all of them is going to be a Ubuntu server. And then I have server 2 and server 1 here, and these ones are going to keep my application. They're also going to be Ubuntu, as I said, and they're going to run some kind of replicated node application that we're going to create new instances of. So the server 1 and server 2, they're identical to each other, and apart from the name and the IP address, they're going to be exactly the same. So after you watch this tutorial, you're going to have a simple replication of a cluster that is adaptable to scaling out and with multiple application servers. So you're going to be able to take this one here and create more instances of it in order to deal with more traffic and higher redundancy also. We're going to create a simple setup of nginx that does caching, so you're also going to know how to do this after this tutorial. You're also going to learn how to escape certain endpoints for caching. We're also going to add more application servers to the cluster with zero downtime. Downtime of the service that we're providing, that is. And also how you can remove one server at a time for maintenance purposes with also zero downtime. And of course, when I say zero downtime, I assume that there is more servers left in the cluster. So for example, if I delete this one, I'm going to have zero downtime since this is also running, you know. So you will also have a basic understanding how you should keep the communication secure, which is obviously important because otherwise this might be useless. And you're going to have it secured while it's also performant. And we're going to create a fallback page that you can show if all applications on the cluster goes down. So if all of these should go down, you should be able to show a error page from the load balancer server. And this is also why I made the assumption that the load balancer never goes down. So in our system implementation, the single point of failure is the load balancer. And that's not going to be a problem because it's going to be so simple. So there is not much that can go wrong with the load balancer. And there is also workarounds to this, but that gets a little bit more complicated, and this is the first step in creating a server cluster with scaling out. So I hope that was clear to you guys. Check out the link that I'm going to provide, and while you read through that or browse through it, you can skip the next tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if anything is unclear. Thank you.